Hey everybody, and welcome to Leia's Lair. Here's our recap and review of the 8th and final episode of Disney Plus's The Mandalorian. The episode starts with Mando getting a call from Greef that he wants to take down the client using Baby Yoda as bait. Mando returns to Sorgan to solicit the help of Cara Dune. They then head together to Arvala 7 to meet up with Quill. He agrees to help, but only if he can bring along some blurgs and the newly rewired IG-11. They head to Navarro and meet up with Greef and his crew of bounty hunters. They set out to meet the client, and during the night they are attacked by some flying creatures. Greef is injured, but Baby Yoda heals him using the Force. They are almost at the client when Greef turns on his bounty hunters. He explains to Mando the plan of them going to kill him all along. Mando sends Quill with Baby Yoda back to the ship, and they go meet up with the client with Mando pretending to be captured by Greef. The client then gets an urgent message during their meeting, and all of a sudden a battalion of stormtroopers shoots up the cantina, killing the client and the other stormtroopers inside. Moff Gideon arrives in a TIE fighter, and Mando tries to contact Quill to leave because they are pinned down. Overhearing this, two stormtroopers take off on speeder bikes to go after him. They catch up to him before they make it to the ship, and Baby Yoda is captured. We then see Quill lying on the ground, presumably dead. The episode ends here. This episode opens up with the troopers that took Baby Yoda. IG-11 comes to the rescue and makes quick work of them. He then heads off on a speeder bike to save Mando and co, who are trapped against Moff Gideon. A great battle ensues, but Mando is shot, so they retreat back inside. A flame trooper tries to flame them out, but Baby Yoda uses the Force to push it back and explodes the trooper. Cara and Greef take the baby into the sewers, while IG-11 stays behind to heal Mando. They catch up in the sewers, and they come across a bunch of Mandalorian helmets. Mando is given a signet and a jetpack, and they carry on their way. They find a lava river and use a boat to go down it. However, several troopers are waiting outside to attack them, so IG-11 sacrifices himself to take care of the troopers. They make it out, but Moff Gideon starts attacking them in his TIE fighter. Mando uses his jetpack to take him out. However, the end scene shows Moff Gideon surviving the crash and using the infamous Darksaber to escape the wreckage. The episode and season end here. Okay, so what we like and didn't like. Well, one thing I really didn't like was those troopers punching Baby Yoda. That was so sad.
Yeah.
He was just hanging out in that bag, and every time he would make a sound, they would just punch him. Like, screw you guys.
Poor Baby Yoda. But then, they got their just desserts from IG-11.
Totally.
Shortly after.
It was totally, like, they deserved it 100%, but it was still so sad because he was just so cute in his little bag.
Yeah. But I do like the humor of that scene, how they both keep trying to shoot something and they keep missing.
Just typical troopers.
Stormtroopers can't hit anything.
I was dying. It was just like the first guy was shooting, hitting nothing. The other guy pulls out his gun like he's hot, and then he just misses too.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Yeah. So yeah, that was an interesting opening scene. So yeah, then he goes off. He goes on a rampage when he's on that speeder bike, and I love when IG-11 does those huge battles like that. Like even in the first episode, we get to see that. But yeah, he just comes in guns blazing, takes out so many stormtroopers.
So many.
So I really liked that battle scene.
That was awesome for sure. He was just like, I was a little like apprehensive of him after like the 7th episode because I was like, how well did like Quill really reprogram him? Is he gonna like change and take out Baby Yoda or Mando? But nope.
No,
absolutely
good. He's
not.
A good guy. Yeah, I did like how they finally showed that whole sequence too of Mandalorian's past. Like they also they reveal his name, Din Djarin.
Yep.
Which is huge news. We finally know his actual name. It only took the whole first season to learn it, but we got it.
His name is no longer just Mando.
Yeah. Although I still feel like people will just call him Mando anyways.
Absolutely. And that was such a like important scene. We learned so much about the character and how he got his parents sacrificed himself to save them from some sort of droid attack. I'm assuming that was probably I don't know. No, actually, it wasn't the Mandalorian purge because we learned that he's not actually born on Mandalore. He's born elsewhere, but he gets found as a
Yeah.
child and taken into like the care of the Mandalorians and becomes a foundling and then gets
Yeah, he
taught
gets
in the
re-
ways of the Mandalorians and takes up the Mandalorian creed and becomes a Mandalorian that way, because I guess Mandalorians aren't a race, right? They're a creed.
Yeah, I do think that whole scene was very nice, just because too, it was like before we only see up until where the droid is about to take him out in the past episodes, and then now we actually get to see, at first I was thinking, oh, maybe it was like Yoda who saves him, and that's why he has such a fond connection to Baby Yoda, like, oh, this thing
Interesting.
saved me. But we do get to see that it is the Mandalorians coming in, they save them, and so he has a lot of respect for Mandalorians.
He becomes a Mandalorian.
This
so
is the way.
This is the way. So then Moff Gideon makes quick work of Mando, blowing him to,
Yeah, shoots him
Hell.
in the back of the head.
and then he blows him up. That was like what really got him.
Oh,
He,
yeah. He shoots him in the back of the head, then shoots the
yeah.
thing, blows him up.
So he's injured and they're trapped still inside.
Mm-hmm.
And this flame trooper comes and he's going to burn them all.
Baby
But then
Yoda,
Baby Yoda comes to the rescue again, uses the Force to save them all.
Yeah, so that's cool. We know that he can use his force powers whenever he needs them to be, but then falls asleep right after.
He gets real tired, so...
But what I liked about that is they set it up so that they're like, oh, go on ahead. And then it sets it up for Mando's face reveal, because IG-11 is not a living being, so he can technically see his face, and it's not against his religion there. So
That was cool. I mean, I like to say I was surprised by what he looked like, but I've seen Game of Thrones and I'm very familiar with who Pedro Pascal is, so that wasn't much of a surprise for me personally, but it was nice to finally see the man behind the mask, I guess.
Yeah, this whole time it could have been someone else, and he's just speaking over him now. But yeah, no, it's cool. We finally get to see Mando. We know his name. We know his background.
We know what he looks like.
Yeah, so that was really cool. So that we're getting all these new sides of Mando and his character revealed in this episode, and I think it ties the whole season very nicely together.
Just filling in the missing puzzle pieces, which I thought was pretty cool.
And then it's kind of sad though, because after they escape through the sewers, he goes and the Mandalorians that had all been helping him in the third episode there he finds all these Mandalorian helmets, meaning the Empire came in and just took most of them out.
Oh, that was so sad. I got real like Lord of the Rings vibes, like when they go through the mines and they're so like excited to see all the dwarves, and then there's no dwarves. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Except they're going through sewers, and instead of dwarves, they're looking for Mandalorians, but same thing.
Yeah, but they do find the one Mandalorian there, the armorer, and she gives him his signet, which is a mudhorn.
That was cool.
And she also gives him a jetpack, which is very cool. So all these things that we've been wanting Mando and wanting to happen in this whole season, he finally gets everything in this very last episode.
I feel she just teaches him a little bit more about like the Mandalorian creed or religion or whatever you want to call it. Like she basically tells him that Baby Yoda is now his foundling, and it's his job now to return either Baby Yoda to its planet, or to like
to its people,
raise it,
or to be, like, basically he's gonna be the dad.
Yeah, she literally calls him the dad. So Dadalorian has become a real thing, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we see him make use of that jetpack, which is pretty cool.
Well, before we see him make use of the jetpack, we see IG-11 die, which I was kind of sad about, because like I liked IG-11 from the first episode, and I was hoping he'd come back, and he comes back just to die. So that it was sad, and I kind of hope that he comes back season 2.
But like he didn't, like he died for good reason. Like he's like his job was to be like to take out the baby, like when we first see him, and then you see that he has totally changed, and his job becomes to protect the baby. And that's exactly what he does. He sacrifices himself in the end, which was kind of like poetic in a way.
Yeah. No, it was a good end. But I just liked his character. So, and using that jetpack, going back to the jetpack.
That was awesome.
That was a great sequence. We get to see him fly up, jump onto his TIE fighter, explode it. We all knew that he wasn't going to die from there. We see it crash. We're like, okay, well, he's still going to be alive, I'm assuming.
It would just have been too easy for him to get rid of him. And of course, as soon as his his fighter is down, who comes to raid it for its good, but the Jawas.
Yeah, they're getting those
which
parts.
I thought was funny. But then, man, this last ending moment was just so epic for me. He breaks out of his TIE fighter using the infamous dark saber. Like, we've never seen that in real life.
No.
The last time we saw it, I think, was when Bo-Katan Kryze had it after Sabine Wren gave it to her in Rebels.
Yeah.
But
So
like,
we definitely see it at the end of Rebels, and that's pretty much the last we see of it. She reunited Mandalore.
that was just wild. Wild.
So then we hear about this great purge. There's not very many Mandalorians left. The Darksaber now is in the hands of Moff Gideon.
So obviously had some sort of hand in the purge.
Yeah, and I think it'd be kind of cool to explore a little bit more of the past, like even in the second season, like how we got a little of his first when he was a child. If we get more of his upbringing, more like what happened with him and Moff Gideon, and why does he know him, and like we only got
More
a little
about the
bit of that,
purge,
but
yeah.
this episode really opens up a lot of questions for the next season. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and seeing the Darksaber was epic. At
It was
first,
just dope. I couldn't even believe that. I was literally in shock. The tip like comes out of the TIE fighter, and I was like, no, it can't be.
Well, at first I was like, oh, is he just like busting out of there with like a
Vibroblade or
vibroblade or like some sort of tool, like, and then when it started coming out, and I was like, wait, that's glowing.
And it looks just as cool as it ever did in any of the shows. So,
that's just the start of it, and I feel like we have a lot to look forward to in the upcoming season.
Oh, absolutely. So in terms of a rating, I'm going to give this episode a 9.5 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed every second of it. I finally got so many of my questions answered. We get to an insight more into Mando's past. We get to see what he looks like in real life. We get to see Baby Yoda in action again. We get to see IG-11 become like the hero and save them. And we get to see the Darksaber, which was just so cool and unexpected.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm also going to give it a high rating. I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10.
Whew.
I'm giving it the full 10. Obviously, for me, this was my favorite episode of all 8. And like you said, it had everything. It was long. It was like 50-minute episode. This is how they all should be. It had tons of action, everything you wanted in it. And Darksaber, just 10.
That was just the
best. A 10. You get a Darksaber, you get a 10 automatically. Totally. So yeah, love the episode.
And there you have it. Thanks for watching, everyone. What did you think of episode 8 of The Mandalorian? Let us know down below in the comment section. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more great videos to come. I hope to see you all again in Leia's Lair.